Hey there, I'm Ella, and welcome to the Vanilla Mindset. This podcast is your cozy space for soft thoughts, slow living, and creating a life that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. Today's episode is called Less Pressure, Please. I want to start with a sentence that feels very on brand for this episode and maybe for your life right now too. You are not behind. You are just under a lot of pressure. And pressure has a way of distorting everything: your motivation, your confidence, your ability to enjoy your own life. A lot of people think pressure is what makes them productive. They tell themselves, if I ease up, I will fall apart. If I stop pushing, nothing will get done. If I do not keep the pressure on, I will lose momentum. But psychology tells us something very different. Pressure might get short-term results, yeah, but it destroys sustainability. Pressure activates your stress response, and the nervous system in stress mode is not creative, not flexible, and not very kind to itself. It is focused on survival, and that is not a great place to build a life from. There's a quote I love that captures this perfectly. Pressure creates urgency. Safety creates progress. Let that sink in for a second. So many of us live as if everything is urgent. Every decision, every message, every goal, every emotion. And when everything feels urgent, nothing feels grounded. You are always reacting, never settling. Pressure can look very put together from the outside. Busy schedules, high standards, always improving, always optimizing. But internally, it often feels like tension, self criticism, and the constant sense that you are one step away from messing everything up. If that sounds familiar, you are not failing at life. You are just living under too much pressure. Let's talk about where this pressure actually comes from, because it is not random. A lot of it is internalized. You learned somewhere along the way that rest must be earned, that slowing down is lazy, that ease means you are not trying hard enough, that if you are not pushing, you are falling behind. Those beliefs do not come from nowhere. They come from environments that rewarded output more than well being. Your nervous system learned that pressure equals safety. Stay alert, stay busy, stay ahead. But here's the thing: what once helped you survive might now be the very thing keeping you stuck. And here's a reframe I want you to carry with you. Just because pressure feels familiar, it does not mean it is necessary. Pressure is not the same as care. You can want growth without squeezing yourself into burnout. You do not need to push harder. You need to feel safer. When your nervous system feels safe, motivation comes online naturally. Focus improves. Decision making gets clearer. You stop second guessing every single move. This is why people often feel more productive after rest, not after pressure. And let's talk about the sneaky ways pressure shows up in everyday life. For example, turning every hobby into a side project, feeling guilty for resting, rushing through moments that could be enjoyed, setting standards that leave no room for being human, talking to yourself like a manager instead of a friend. And the last one really matters, because your inner voice plays a huge role in how much pressure you experience. If your self-talk is constantly demanding, correcting, or criticizing, your nervous system never gets a break. Even when nothing is happening, your body feels like it's being watched. And that is actually really exhausting. Here's a gentle truth: you cannot relax into your life if you are constantly evaluating yourself inside it. Less pressure creates more presence. Now I want to make this practical, because I know pressure can feel like an abstract thing you cannot just turn off. So here are some soft, realistic ways to reduce pressure without blowing up your life. First, stop setting timelines based on fear. If your deadlines are driven by panic rather than clarity, they are probably too tight. Second, build in margin. Margin is unscheduled time, white space, breathing room. Your nervous system needs it to regulate. Third, notice where you use should instead of want. Should language creates pressure instantly. Fourth, let things be good enough sometimes. Perfection is a pressure amplifier. Fifth, practice doing things at a human pace. Slower walking, slower eating, slower transitions. Believe me, your body will notice. Progress does not disappear when you rest. It integrates. And integration is what turns effort into growth. Without it, you are just constantly exerting energy without actually absorbing the benefits. Let's also talk about emotional pressure because that one gets overlooked a lot. Emotional pressure looks like needing to be okay all the time, needing to have it together, needing to stay positive, needing to be the strong one. That kind of pressure disconnects you from your real experience. Psychology shows that suppressed emotions increase stress in the body. Feeling without judgment is actually regulating. You do not need to fix how you feel to move forward. You are allowed to exist without performing. You do not have to earn your right to rest. You do not have to justify your pace. You do not have to explain why something feels like too much. Less pressure does not mean less ambition. It means ambition rooted in self-respect instead of fear. When you reduce pressure, something interesting happens. You become more honest, more connected to what actually matters. You stop chasing everything and start choosing intentionally. And yeah, some people might not like the version of you that is less pressured. That is usually because the old version overgave. And you know what? That is okay. Before we wrap up, I want to give you something gentle to carry with you until the next episode. Where in your life are you adding pressure that could be replaced with care? And what would it feel like to ease up just a little bit? You do not need to change everything at once. One area is enough. One moment of softness is enough to start shifting your nervous system. Less pressure does not make you weak, it makes you sustainable. If this episode helped you, I'd love for you to follow the show here on Spotify and maybe even share it with someone else. And don't forget to check out my Instagram for more cozy productivity, Vanilla Girl Academy mindset shifts, soft routines, and a lot more. My handle is Justellamaria. Until next time, okay, bye!